eagles fly. Let's peep the squad. Big Pat Shell and Dante the Dark Child. Drop the stats on them, drop the facts on them. Spur King, baby, let's get it on.
And welcome to Eagles Talk by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. As you can see here, it's your boy Pat. I'm solo dolo by myself once again. Dante's taking care of his normal vocations. Stored is at volleyball camp. Nichelle still will be, hopefully she might be on next week. And we'll have the whole team back shortly. But we come to you after a bye week, after a eventful bye week. Who would have thought that you would have so much victories after a bye week? But again, welcome to Eagles Talk by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. Here we do a lot of things different. And before I start the show, normally we don't talk about opposite teams or teams we don't like and stuff like that. But unfortunately, we heard some tragic news about 10 o'clock this morning on Marshawn Keelan of the Dallas Cowboys. Normally, I don't say the Cowboys' name like that, but I will in this instance. As you already know, mental health awareness is necessary. Check up on your friends. Make sure you reach out to your folks daily. This young man just scored a touchdown Sunday. You never know what they're going through, regardless of the situations, regardless of the money that's put out they're making. Be very attentive to your friends. Matt Rule, the head coach for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, said, "None of us know what people are going through." That young man scored a TD just a couple of days ago, and to the outside world, you would think he's at the pinnacle. But he was dealing with something that we don't know. Let's pray for him and pray for his family. And before I get this show started, before I do anything, I just want to take a moment of silence because, again, we lost a guy that played football in this league over mental health. Check on your friends. A.J. Brown talks about it a lot. We had Lane Johnson talking about it. Brian Dawkins even talked about it. Mental health is a situation that had them contemplating, leaving this earth. So before I start the show, I want to take a moment of silence for a member of the NFL that we have lost today. All right, with that being said, prayers and thoughts out to his family as we move on to talk about our Philadelphia Eagles. So, go Birds, go Birds, go Birds. We haven't been on in over a week and a half, and over the week and a half, not only did we beat the New York Football Giants, but we also had a lot of victories in the wake of the NFC East losing. Before I get started, though, let me get this first quarter cranked up. You are watching Eagles Talk by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. Here at Eagles Talk, we like to do things a little different. We don't play it safe. We don't play it cute. We drink. Well, I drink. And right now I'm doing a triple by Jameson. Let me know what you're drinking out there. Just like Dante and Nichelle would say, it doesn't matter if you're drinking liquor or you're drinking a juice. It's your drink. It's your adult beverage. Drink it, and let's celebrate our Eagles being in the first place in the NFC. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Let's get to some comments in here. Jeremiah, what up, fam? Yes, first person in the room, Jeremiah Andrews. Jeremy T. Smith, what up, Square? What's going on, JT? Yes, he meant to say go Birds. I get you. Jeremiah, I'll get to the trades probably in the second or third quarter because I want to get you all the information from those particular trades that we made before the trade deadline, which was at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. But we are coming off a victory. Well, we are actually coming off a bye week. But since the last time we were on, we are coming off a 38-20 victory over the New York Giants. We got revenge against a team that mollywopped us. All right, mollywopped us the first time we played them. This time we were able to get on track. We're able to do what was necessary to get the W against New York Football Giants. He was able to establish the run game with having two running backs over 100 yards. The first time, I know I had the stat up here. I can't find it right now by myself, solo dolo. Um, but it's the first time in a very long time that we had two rushers over 100 yards. And not only did we look good running the ball, our pass game was there. Jalen threw for 4 touchdowns. He had a QB rating of over 140. The second week, he had a QB rating over 141. Uh, the defense looked on track. They started to look much better. We got a good pass rush. We sacked Jason Dark 5 times this game. Uh, it wasn't just like coming off the edge and making the sacks. It was actually coverage sacks where it was 2 times where Jason Dart actually evaded a rush, stepped up and was sacked because of the coverage, and that's what we needed. We needed for us to get back into that philosophy of rushing the pass, covering downfield and rushing the passer and getting after the quarterback. And this game was like a get back for us to get into that mode. Uh, this game was nowhere close. Like this final score tells you it's 38-20, but by the time halftime came, it was 21-10. It wasn't a close game. It didn't feel like a close game. And in all actuality, they were without some major pieces. They lost Cam Scatterboo in the second quarter to a dislocated ankle. He's gone for the rest of the season. It's just the Giants, they were playing unmotivated, and we saw it. We saw it again. They play unmotivated when they don't have these guys there, and it's going to be a tough sledding for the rest of the season for the Giants. But back to our Philadelphia Eagles, we look phenomenal. There were some things I was concerned about, particularly Lane Johnson. If you go back and look at the tape, there was two rushes. Lane Johnson completely fell out of his stance. Luckily, Jalen Hurts either moved up in the pocket or was able to get rid of the ball quickly. Uh, those little things concern me because, yes, you can see Lane Johnson. You can see a little chink in the arm of Lane Johnson of as being the best right tackle in football, and maybe he's close to that retiring age. Yes, he's actually close to that retiring age. Not if he's close, he is close to that retiring age. But it is time for us to start thinking, how do we replace these guys? Uh, I know we got Jackson back, so he fills in here and there, and he's done a phenomenal job. We actually had to go in for Jordan Mailata. He did a phenomenal job. So I have some hope that we can rearrange it and keep him for a long term, but we got to look longer term because right now we're still down Cam Jurgens. He didn't play that game. Britt Tooth actually had a pretty outstanding game. Landon Dickerson, on the tape, he looks healthy. On the tape, he looks healthy. He looks way better than he did at the beginning of the season. He has punch. He's able to get to the second level, and he's moving fluently. He's moving very well. Brett Tooth actually looked very comfortable playing that center position next to Landon Dickerson. Tyler Steen, he still has a lot to grow there. We had a few penalties, but besides that, I mean, overall, the offensive line did look pretty decent. Uh, Again, shout out to KP, Kevin Petrillo. I believe he's finally getting into a rhythm with this offense, one that we always wanted for this offense to be, because we have so many weapons for this offense not to put up 30 plus points a game. 30 plus points a game. Let me get to some comments. Jeremiah said he's drinking some vodka. Yes, I haven't had vodka in a long time, and I had some last week, and it messed me up. Bill Crow said, "What's up, everyone? What's going on, Bill? Prayers for the Cowboys and the family of the young man who passed this morning. It actually happened this morning, unfortunately. The O line, not the same. Yeah, the O line is not the same. I do agree with that 100%. The O line is not functioning the same way they were functioning at the height of last year, right? The height of last year, you saw the center pulling, you saw the guard pulling, you saw misdirection pulls, and that enabled Saquon Barkley to get off of these 150-yard games and 65-yard runs. This game was the first time he had a run over 20 yards. So It was good to see our offensive line actually punish a defensive line, a defense in really put up a good rushing attack. We had over 275 yards of rushing combined with Tank Bigsby having over 104. And it was just the determination. It was just the will of our offensive line to finally say, you know what, we are better than the team across from us. Let's dominate them. Because don't get me wrong, the Giants got some players: Kevin Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, uh, Brian Burns, who's all pro. He had like 2 sacks against Jalen Hurts. Listen, they had some players there, but they're pass rushers. They're all light in the ass, what we call them. They're light in the behind. And when they're lighting behind, what you do, you run it down, they freaking through. And that's what they did. Um, Bill Crow said our defense is going to have to be big Monday night. And I truly agree with that. But after looking at the game that the freaking Packers had against the Carolina Panthers, I, I mean, there are some bad losses. Key and point, our bad loss was against the Giants. Um, so I get that. Sometimes you have those games. It's any given Sunday. You have those games where you don't look good. But that game against the Panthers, Packers versus Panthers, that wasn't a good look for the Panthers at all. I mean Packers. Um, Shout out to AJ. AJ Brown didn't play this game. He was getting healthy from a hamstring. But shout out to Devontae Smith, who would normally be a number one on any other team. I don't consider him a number two on our team. He's a 1B. AJ Brown's a 1A. Jahan Dotson is your number two receiver. And that touchdown, I don't know how many of y'all got there and we watched the game, but that touchdown that Jahan basically jumped over the cornerback. Devontae Smith put a move on the opposing D-back that got him wide open. He was wide open, but it was Jahan time. And I mean, listen, good players make great plays in games against players that shouldn't be there. And they had a practice squad corner going against Jahan Dotson, who, if you don't know who he is, you should know because he was a dynamic wide receiver with Penn State and the lines when he was there. He was dynamic. He got drafted high. I think it was no one draft pick for the Washington Commanders. And we got a bargain with him. He's going to be good for us. Get some other comments because I'm gonna need y'all to help me out. No Dark Knight, no Nichelle. I'm here by myself. I'm solo dolo. Tank looks like a good fit. You know what? We traded for Tank basically from Jacksonville to add to the kick return. He was terrible. He was terrible. But you know what? He does give you something in that run game. He is in almost the same mode as Kenneth Gainwell, but much bigger. Kenneth Gainwell was a very good back for our Philadelphia Eagles. He fit very well, subbing in for Saquon Barkley. And Tank Bixby is taking over that position right now. Listen, I love Will Shipley, but Tank Bixby is doing the doggone thing with that 104 yards. I mean, he had like a 19-yard run when our quarterback got a sack, and it looked effortlessly like it looked like he was supposed to do that. You couldn't stop him. Daniel Norfleet, what's going on, Pass? How you doing, sir? We need more trap plays. Barker would not make it running into those big defensive linemen. You're absolutely right. Trap plays, pulling plays, outside plays. We need to open up the office for our running game because we need to create that identity like we had last year. Okay, I know everybody wants Jalen to throw for 1,000 yards. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Jalen has 20 total touchdowns and only 2 turnovers. That's MVP numbers, period, at the halfway mark right now. But the identity of this offense is the running game. I know we have AJ Brown, I know we have Devontae Smith, we have Dallas Goddard. The thing is, the key of this offense, if you get that running game moving, if you get in the flow with the running game, you get in the flow of the running game, everything else falls into pieces. It's just like dominoes, right? You put the one piece together and you put the whole line together. You knock it down perfectly, everything else falls down perfectly together. And it creates a perfect cohesion, which we saw with 38 points the last time we were out there playing. Richard Perry said, "Yo, what's going on, Richard? How you doing, sir?" Miles Smith, what's up, Miles? Haven't seen you in a while. Fly Eagles, fly. What's up, my guy? Let's go for this back to back. Why not? Why not? I know. We got some more games to look at and talk about, but why not? Um, so with that being said, I will end this quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
The Dark Knight is out right now. He is. Oh no, he's here. I hear the Dark Knight. He's coming down from the Raptors, but he's at volleyball practice with my niece, with his daughter, who's going to be an All-American volleyball player certainly. But this before we start the second quarter, Dark Knight, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Let me put you on the show. Oh, you're on the show.
All right.
All right.
Oh, hey, what's going on? What's going on, family? Hey, look, I know you probably talked about it in the first quarter. Howie has done it again. I am very optimistic and enthusiastic about the moves that he made during the bye week,
Dark
no
Knight,
less.
let me stop you right there, Dark Knight. Let me stop you right there. I was going to get to that in the second quarter.
All right, go ahead.
Let me start the second quarter before we go into the acquisitions and all the additions to our roster, because that is key. Dark Knight, that is key. So let me know what you're drinking out there. You are watching or listening to the Eagles Talk, the #1 Eagles sports talk show on Facebook by Eagles fans for Eagles fans. I had Dark Knight say it right. I don't have a deep voice yet. I am drinking a Jameson triple. Dark Knight is watching his little one as she becomes an All-American in volleyball at volleyball practice. So let me know what you're drinking out there. To our Philadelphia Eagles and to Howie Roseman down the hatch.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the second quarter.
All right, now we're talking about this.
All right. Okay. So, as I was saying before, Howie has done it again. During the bye week, he has strengthened his team, going out, understood what the assignment was, and then fulfilled the needs of the team. Knowing that we were weak at cornerback 2 to be exact, he didn't go out and get just one cornerback. He went out and got 2. And I'm not saying they're all pros, but they're worthy, and I think that they may be able to contribute to this team in the second half. Jair Alexander, once a Pro Bowler, has not been playing on that level because he's had some injuries he's dealt with the Baltimore Ravens, but still a quality cornerback. And if anybody can help him regain that level of play that he once was at, it may be the Philadelphia Eagles. Not only that, he went and got a slot cornerback. Why? Because Vic may just move Cooper to safety. He has the flexibility to do something like that because Howie went and got him some more groceries. And then on top of all that, what was one of our biggest needs? A pass rusher. He goes out and get a young, dynamic pass rusher. Although he's coming off an injury, this guy before injury was a first-round pick and one who was successful under Vic Fangio in Miami. So Vic knows this guy. And he knows what kind of performance and what kind of effort he's going to get from him. And I think with those 3 additions and the fact that Nolan Smith is coming back and Bennett is coming back, I think we're going to be poised for a second half run with the defense taking another step up, right? And once we get that pressure on the quarterback, oh, man, I think the offense is just turning the corner. I'm not saying we're perfect yet, but I think we're just turning the corner, and things look up. We're trending up, coming off of a big win prior to the bye week, and these next 2 weeks are really going to tell us a lot about who this team is. We're going to see what this team is made of going up against the Green Bay Packers Monday night, and then following that with a game against the Detroit Lions. I'm ready. I'm hyped. Yeah. Thank you, Howie. Thank you. And by the way, I'm not at practice. I'm actually at Delaware State volleyball tournament. My daughter and I came to see the competition in the state, and her
Okay.
traveling team coach, who she just committed to play for. He got his team in the Final Four, so we came to see what kind of coaching job. And although they didn't win, he did get them into the Final Four. And oh man, I hate to say this on the air, but I was talking to some parents, and they were like, they didn't like him. I'm like, oh man, we done committed to this guy now. But anyway, no, I'm here having a good time, man. And I'm not going to stay on here long, but I just wanted to get in because I'm so excited about the direction that this team, is going in. I think we're
Yes.
trending up. It looks bright for the second half of the season, and I can't wait for Monday night and to see this team back in action against top-notch talent too. Like we're
Hmm.
not, we feel good going into the bye week as we should because their offense looked dynamic. But let's not forget it was the New York Giants. So now we're going to get a real test coming off the bye. It was the New York Giants. Come on now, let's
It
be
was, but
real.
we got Molly
Uh,
Wop last time we played them. All right, we got
I
Molly
know. I
Wop.
mean, I'll take the get back, but what I don't want to do is think that we're all the way back because
Correct.
we ran over on the team with a weak run defense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We did exactly what we should do with a team with a weak run defense. We ran
Hmm.
all over them, being the defending Super Bowl champs. So now we're going to get a bigger test. We're going to get a tougher test against the Green Bay Packers. And then I'm not saying that because I feel confident, and I think that when we get on the field on Monday night we're going to prove to the nation where we are and who we are as defending Super Bowl champions. So I don't make no bones about it. I'm not scared of this. I'm looking forward to the challenge. And with that being said, I'm gonna get back to this volleyball tournament. You guys enjoy the weekend, man. Enjoy your Sunday without the Eagles, and we'll reconvene. I'll be back at least. I'll be back with you guys on Monday night to talk about to get ready for that Green Bay game. Pat, you do a knockdown job. Continue the job, man, and I'll see you
Yes, sir.
guys on Monday.
I see you
All
on
right,
Monday,
peace.
Dark Knight. Appreciate you. I listen. I echo everything that Dark Knight has said. We look forward to the new additions. We got three new additions to the defensive line. Additions by subtraction, believe it or not. Brandon Graham is an addition to the defensive rotation. Nolan Smith comes back from injury. He's an addition to the defensive rotation. And now we got Jalen Phillips, who over his 5-year career has 26 sacks. Who has been injured. Let's be honest. One injury was the Achilles, another injury was the AC, was the knee. But he came back from both of these injuries, and right now he has 4 total sacks. If he played with the Eagles right now with 4 total sacks, he would lead the Eagles with 4 sacks. All right, sometimes we looked at Howie Roseman. He makes phenomenal jobs. He does phenomenal things for the team, but at the same time, he misses on some things. Jalen Phillips, when healthy, can be a phenomenal pass rusher. And now he doesn't have to be the focal point as a pass rusher. You have Nolan Smith, who is quietly probably going to be our best pass rusher because he's physical. He's one of the physical defensive ends that the physicality we've been missing. Uh, we have Jacorian Bennett, who's also a slot corner or outside corner that may be coming in here if Jair Alexander cannot play that position on the outside. Michael Carter Williams, the second from the Jets, he was a Pro Bowl. He was a Pro Bowl corner. He was a second team All Pro. He fell out of favor, but he can rekindle that. With a different type of defense that we play, and the trust I have in Vic Fangio. Listen, these additions can only help this defense become way better than what we saw in the first 7 to 8 weeks of the NFL season. Because right now, I see our barometer going up. We did lose a few players. Right now, no Cam Jurgens. He's still out on injury. The Eagles have opened up the practice window for Woody Lumpkin. He was the offensive lineman, but that's it. That's all we lost, really. The good news is AJ Brown practice. He says he's going to play. Devontae Smith joked around and said when the question was asked to AJ Brown, do you like it here? Devontae turned around, went over there and said, "Does he like it here? He loves it here. Leave him alone." you know, and that locker room itself, is something else because they asked Jair Alexander different questions on being there. By the looks of the things, he's getting assimilated to the culture of the Philadelphia Eagles. He was born here in Philadelphia. His mother's from here. He has family here. Um, and AJ Brown was talking. They asked AJ Brown about the addition of Jair Alexander. He said, "Oh yeah, that's my son," jokingly, laughing, and they had a good time with. They had a good time with it, and that's what you want. Jalen Phillips is a locker room guy. He's a great locker room guy. He has with the Miami Dolphins been nominated as one of the better teammates on the team. He's not the one talking about how hard Vic Fangio's coached him. He actually flourished under Vic Fangio. I think it was 2022. 2022, 2021. He had 8.5 and 7.5, 7 sacks. Then he got injured. So he plays very well in the different schemes that's thrown out there, and I think he's going to flourish here because he's not going to be asked to play 100% of the snaps. He's going to ask to just do his role, play his role. I'm going to get to some other comments in the third quarter. Let me end this quarter.
And that's the end of the quarter.
Shout out to you. First and foremost, shout out to you, the Eagles fan that's on the other end that didn't have no Eagles football over the weekend that was able to sit back and relax, smoke a cigar or drink a whiskey or drink a vodka or just drink a hot cocoa, because it's getting cold outside. Shout out to you. Shout out to you because you know what? As Eagles fans, sometimes we take things for granted. And right now, Jalen Hurts is playing a phenomenal brand of football. He has 2 turnovers, 1 interception, 1 fumble. He's playing a phenomenal brand of football, and it is looking outstanding. This team is starting to look on the up and up. And as I'm about to go start this third quarter, I am drinking a Jameson triple. Let me know what you're drinking out there. I know we had one drinking a vodka. If you ever like Jameson, you get this triple. It's very, very smooth. Because by the fourth quarter, I'll be slurring my words. All right, I'm gonna talk about Michael Carter in the third quarter for you, Jeremiah. So to our Philadelphia Eagles, and to the bye week. Let's listen before I hit anything. To the bye week for the W for the bye week. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're now listening to the
Yeah, shout out to our Philadelphia Eagles as we get ready to take on the Green Bay Packers, which was a Sunday game, which was flexed to a Monday, and now we get to play the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field, where maybe some snow. There may be some snow. Jeremiah said, Jair's only played 16 games in 3 years. He's injury prone. Yes, he's coming off an injury. He had his knee scope. He only played 2 games, I think, with Baltimore. And he's been an active, a healthy scratch the rest of the season. He said today that he's actually feel after the trade, he feels the best he has ever felt since after the injury to his knee. He's ready to go. He's ready to play whatever position he needs to play on that defense, whatever situation they put him in. He's ready to go for our Philadelphia Eagles. Jeremy T. Smith, listen, that's hitting me already. The Eagles only beat the Eagles. We are kicking team their stinking teeth in. We win 10+ game after our bye week. Jeremy, this is your first time drinking in a long time, huh? I could tell. My thoughts on Michael Carter. Michael Carter, he was a very good corner. Paired him with Sauce Gardner. They were the Jets had the actually best secondary in football about 2 years ago. Due to injuries, due to different things, different circumstances, different coaches, different philosophies, his stock went down the drain. He has become pedestrian at best. But you know what happens when players become pedestrian with a different team? They could become all stars with another team. Not saying that he's going to be a dynamic slot corner because we already have a dynamic slot corner in Cooper DeJean. But we might need him to play other positions. We might have move Coop on the outside, and we're just making sure it's better to have and not need, and need and not have. So he adds to what we need in our secondary. Wilbur Jones, go Birds. Yes, go Birds. I just want to throw some stats out there with you because we always talking about different things and different situations. Just gonna let you know, right now I think Nick Sirianni is undefeated coming out the bye week. Knock on wood, and I hope we keep that trend. He also haven't lost a game. The Eagles haven't lost a game under Nick Sirianni against the AFC South, um, AFC North, and NFC North team since he's been the head coach. And we look forward to keep that streak going as we play against the Packers, the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers had a terrible game against the Carolina Panthers. Or the Carolina Panthers may be the real deal. Rico, the running back, has been playing very, very, very good in the last few weeks. He's playing so good that he's leading the NFL in rushing. So they have been balling. And if you keep a team that's not supposed to be in the game, chances are you may lose that game. Let's go to Key Chanel 30 on YouTube. She threw up the birds. Go Birds. Yes, we appreciate you for tuning us in from YouTube. We're gonna be on YouTube more or less shortly. Jeremiah. I'm not. That's why I said knock on wood. Let me there we go. Let me knock on wood. Um There's some other stuff that y'all don't know about. Leading the Eagles at 62 to the top seed in the NFC at this point. Jalen Hurts ranks first in the NFL in the following categories. Check this out. TD turnover ratio 22-2. Where I told you that. Passing TD, the interception ratio 15-1. He has a minimum of 200 passes. Yards per pass on third and fourth down is 10.1, which is crazy. Passer rating on third and fourth down is 123.3. Passer rating versus the blitz, which was his weakest thing about a few years ago, right? In 2023, when we got mollywopped by the Buccaneers, let's say he can't read a blitz, but his passer rating versus a blitz this year is 134.5. Listen, I like Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a winner. They're talking about he doesn't put up numbers like Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow's out and Joe Flacco is doing a daggone thing. Like these quarterbacks, they just say he's not a conventional quarterback. He's a running back playing quarterback, but yet all he does is win. All he does is win. He has a winning record as a starting quarterback. He has took his team to two Super Bowls where he outplayed the greatest quarterback in his generation. The crazy thing is that we look at stats as the barometer of where this player should be or what this player should be doing. Dude, we're 6-2. Our quarterback has one interception, one fumble, like 20 touchdowns. At some point, this whole narratives have to change because Joe Montana, right? Joe Montana had John Taylor, Tom Rathman, Roger Craig, Jerry Rice at their offense. But yet you call Joe Montana one of the best quarterbacks ever. Steve Young came into that same offense and had even more. Brent Jones at tight end. And you called Steve Young, great quarterback. But yet it's not the players around him. You look at these quarterbacks nowadays, right? Josh Allen, he's doing the thing with the players that he have. He has a phenomenal offense. His offense, even though you're not going to be able to name all the players on his offense, these guys get open all the doggone time. All right. So he's keeping the main thing. I was about to say that. Keeping the main thing, which is winning. I love that. Today in Norfolk, what is the stats on Michael Parsons? Right now, Michael Parsons, he has 6 sacks. No, he doesn't. Yeah, he has 6.5 sacks for Green Bay. Yeah, 6.5 sacks for Green Bay. The thing about Michael Parsons with Green Bay is their defense is not predicated on moving him around. He's playing pretty much on one side or the other, and we actually play very well against a Michael Parsons led defense. Shout out to Penn State. We are as we try to find a new head coach, but it's going to be a tall task to contain or curtail Michael Parsons in this game because he is a dynamic pass rusher. He's a very good pass rusher, but I'm not too much worried about him because they do have some really good players. Let me get to some more comments. Eddie, what's going on, Eddie? Pat, if you do not fit the narrative, they stand against you. Hurts can cure cancer, and it would be the prior research responsible. Hurts keeps winning. That's all that matters. Yeah, that's a comment of the night, man. Listen, that's a comment of the night. That's 100%. Like, listen, the thing about it is we always wanted a quarterback that was first dynamic, that can throw the ball, and that can win. Jalen Hurts fits all three categories. Does he throw for 400 yards a game? Absolutely not. Is he efficient? The past 2 games he played, he had over 141 passer rating. If that's not efficiency, I don't know what is. The game prior to us playing Giants, he had a perfect passer rating. If that's not what you want, I don't know what you want from a quarterback. Bill Crow said they put fake pressure, then drop back and try to make Hurts make a mistake. But if we can run the rock, it will take care of that. I think we have mastered. I'm not gonna say we have mastered. I think we as a team and Jalen Hurts particularly now understands what teams try to do to him, try to take away from him, try to manipulate what he is seeing. He's able to make different calls to the line of scrimmage, which is putting us in a better position to win when the ball is snapped. Jeremiah Andrews said, two turnovers. Say less about our quarterback. Listen, there. I don't think any other quarterback in this league has one interception. If you name it, I give you $100 that had thrown over at least 100 passes. Don't do that. Some more things out here. Good news is AJ Brown. I told you this before. AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley has been practiced. They both will be playing. And Jalen Phillips will be playing this week. Will he be starting? I don't think so, but he will be playing. Brandon Graham is active. Will he be starting? I don't believe so. Nolan Smith is active. Will he be starting? Most likely, because he is a starter when healthy. So he will be the starter. Let me get some other information. So there was. Let me end this quarter real quick, and because we got about 10 more minutes before the Thursday night game start. I don't even know who's playing. I don't really care. Our Philadelphia Eagles will play on Monday, and I'm sitting at home drinking.
And that's the end of the quarter.
Shout out to our Philadelphia Eagles as we get ready to take on the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field. It may be a little snow. It may not be a little snow. It may be cold. It's definitely going to be cold. But we get to play the Packers, which is turned into a quick rivalry. The Packers, the Rams, the Vikings. This is turned into a rivalry. Broncos and the Reds, we can skip to Monday. Appreciate you, Eddie. So to our Philadelphia Eagles, let me know what you're drinking out there as we get ready to take on the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau Field with our new additions. Down the hatch. 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the fourth quarter.
Woo. All right. Yeah, so the Broncos and Raiders. That should be a good game. Freaking Broncos, man. We should have won against the Broncos. We should be 7-1. But you know what? If this was a fifth. All right, so some good things, some good news about our Philadelphia Eagles is that we're getting healthy at the right time. Kevin Pachuto, I gotta take my hat off to him. Last week there were some different wrinkles in our offense and our running game that we didn't see all year. Please, if you have the opportunity, go look at the All 22. Don't just look at social media and look at Brian Baldinger and stuff like that. And Jason Avant. Jason actually look at Jason Avant. He does a phenomenal breakdown. But they actually did some things in the offensive running game, which we were waiting for them to do that they haven't done in a long time. They pulled their guard, they double team and moved up to the second level fluently, which I was very happy to see for the first time. The one thing I wasn't happy to see was Lane Johnson falling on his behind twice on a pass rush. And things happen. I'm not gonna sit there and say he's perfect. His believe it or not, now that I say this, his first sack that he gave up after a very long period of time came in 2023 against the Miami Dolphins against Jalen Phillips, which is crazy. Now that he's on our team, I honestly say that Jalen Phillips beat Lane Johnson, which is not good, but it's great now that we got him. Shout out to Dallas Goddard. I had a conversation with somebody on outside talking about Dallas Goddard is. I wish our tight end could do what the other tight ends do. I don't think these people don't realize the ability that Dallas Goddard has as that tight end position. He's another offensive tackle that can also run out and catch the ball. Who has basically he's leading all tight ends in receptions. He's number one in receiving touchdowns. I think he has like 7 or 8 touchdowns. So it's crazy to really say we want these other tight ends to be dynamic when you have one of the premier or best tight ends in the league that not only can receive the ball but he can block efficiently. Uh, in Vic, I trust more pressure and more sacks. Yes, I do. I honestly do. There was a conversation on 94.1. They're talking about the addition of N'Kobe Dean and this attraction of Jahad Campbell. And they were saying it's a reason why we went and got Jalen Phillips, because Jahad Campbell is not a DN. He's not. He's not a rush in. Can he do it? Absolutely. His ability to be a defensive end, a linebacker, inside linebacker, and cover tight ends is what keeps him on the field. And you have to keep him on the field because he has that ability. But he is still a rookie. He's still raw. He doesn't have that instincts that N'Kobe Dean has as an inside linebacker. He doesn't have that nasty streak. All right. Listen, I'll tell you right now, N'Kobe Dean hits way harder than Jahad Campbell. And Jahad Campbell was hurting people in training camp. So that speaks volumes because N'Kobe Dean at his size, he know how to take angles. He know how to press holds. You know how to, see what's happening and make the play. These past 2 games that he was getting acclimated back into the defense, especially this last game against the Giants, you saw some major hits, some major plays from the Kobe Dean that made Zach Bond be able to freely run around like he did last year. You got to realize N'Kobe Dean was the person that actually helped Zach Bond get to that all-pro status because he was able to be the quarterback of the defense, put people in the right position and help them make plays for the defense. You need that mind as to your middle linebacker. Jahad Campbell was not there yet. Will he get there? Most likely he will. He'll be a dynamic piece, in our defense that we can move anywhere. He probably be like, if y'all play chess out there right now, I consider him as the castle. He's the castle piece. Zach Bond is I'm not gonna say this like this, but he's a queen on the chessboard. He can move anywhere. He can get everywhere quickly. N'Kobe Dean is the king of the defense. He makes sure he puts the players in the right position to not only just guard him, but so he can make his particular moves um, strategically in the defense. Let me get some more comments because I've been drinking and my words are slurring. This this is Lane's 12th season. He might be looking at retire. Listen, he missed like a lot of games, so yeah, it is his 12th season. He is looking at retirement. Rook bat. It's called a rook. Who's called a rook? No, oh, shoot. Eddie, I've been drinking, Eddie. I'll put that comment up in a second. Yeah, so Lane Johnson has been hitting that retirement. Not this season, maybe one more season. He might give it one more go. If we win the Super Bowl, I'm pretty much sure he's gonna retire. I'm pretty much sure he will retire. Eddie said, "God just has to stay healthy." Yes, that's all you gotta do. You can't make the club in the tub. My brother always say, right? You gotta stay healthy. It's called a rook. It's called a rook. Pat. I'm not talking about the rook. I know what the rook is. I'm talking about the castle piece. All right, the castle piece. He said the rook. I get you. Let me know what you. Let me do this. We got about a few more minutes. Let me know what you grade this Philadelphia Eagles team. Special teams, offense, defense. What you grade them? Because I'm gonna give you right now what I grade this offense, this defense. How I feel about the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator. You already know how I feel about the defensive coordinator. He's making his bones. He's making his team play at a very high rate. As far as the defense rise, and I appreciate everything he does on his team. So for our special teams, being as though that I'm about to call him Cody Park. Goodness gracious, Elliott. Elliott has only missed 2 deep field goals. Our special team, especially last week, our last game has looked very, very good. We have uh, 2 blocks. We have one return for a field goal block for a touchdown. We have a punt block for a touchdown. I'll give an A to our special teams. I'll give an A to our special teams. For our defense, this is going to be a harder because normally I would grade like the defensive line, the linebackers, and the defensive backs, but I'm grading them as a whole right now. For our whole defense, going into the second half of the season, I'm gonna give them a B minus. I was close to giving them a C, but I'm gonna give them a B minus. Reason why I give them a B minus is because they have kept us in games. They have did what was necessary for us to do to stay in these particular games. They have made big plays when we needed big plays. They have a very good turnover margin, and for us not to have a second corner, we actually been playing very well. Q and Coop, they are the future at our corners. And I say this right now, Coop, you could put him at any position in the secondary. He's going to be dynamic in that position. But I always thought he would be another outside corner because when he was at Iowa, you got to go back to those tapes. They did not try him. They didn't, and that's a Penn State included. I hate to say that, but I could give our defense a B minus. Our offense, Jalen Hurts has been our offense. All right, he has been the offense. He has been the running game. He has been the passing game. It's hard to say I want to give him a C because they have been putting points on the board and been consistent. I mean, with only 2 losses and 6 Ws, this team has been moving the ball, and it's all been on Hurt's shoulder lately. Except for one game with the running game got going finally against the Giants. So I have to give them a. If I gave the defense a B minus, I have to give the offense a B minus also. I was gonna give him a C plus, but I gotta give the offense a B minus. It's only because of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been dynamic. If he continues the second half like he did the first half, Puts up 15 more touchdowns. He have 30 touchdowns. He has 1,600 passing yards. He put up another 1,600 passing yards. That's over 3,000 in passing yards. I mean, he has to be in the conversations for MVP. I don't care what they say. 2 turnovers in the whole season, 3,000 yards, over 30 touchdowns. Um, you got to put this guy in the MVP conversation. So he's been a rock on our offense. One thing he has been a rock on our offense. Now I really think that AJ Brown with Jalen Hurts, they're going to pick it up in the second half of the season. I really think that um, what we saw in the first half is a mirage of what we're going to see in the second half. We're going to see a whole different dynamic offense that's able to run the ball efficiently. We don't have to be dynamic, running the ball for 300 yards. I mean, I think we're going to get over 150 yards or 200 yards per game. And I think our quarterback's going to throw for at least 200, 250 yards a game moving forward with both our receivers, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, averaging at least a 90 yards, a clip of 1 touchdown a game. It's going to be hard to put them to the side and say they're not going to do what they can do because AJ Brown, he's a damn good receiver. Devontae Smith won a Heisman as receiver. Name the last Heisman wide receiver. I'll sit here and wait. My point exactly. Let me get some comments. Jeremiah said, offense D. Wow. That's a curve for real. Defense C, special teams B. I hear you, Jeremiah. Eddie said offense and defense B, special teams B, punt returns and kick are store opportunity. Listen, I have to give the special teams an A. Did I say special teams A minus? I have to give them an A minus because we have two blocked field goals, right? One return for a touchdown. We have a punt block return for a touchdown, and also last week we averaged about 30 yards return in our kick return. When they realized that Tank Bixby is not a returner and Will Shipley is the returner, we have been doing much better return the football. Jeremiah said our defense is ranked 25th. We just got the help we need to get more pressure and turnovers. 25th at the midway point is fine. I'm cool with that. When you look at the 25th rank, you looked at teams that's 2-5, 2-6, 3, 6, and 1. So I do the Dante eyes, right? The 3, 6, and $1. But the Beats ranked 25th on defense, and being 6-2, the number one ranked team in the NFC. There's so much room to grow, which is tremendous and outstanding. It's kind of crazy to look at our team and say, you know what? We're going to get much better. We got pass rushers, Jalen Phillips. Brandon Graham, yes, he's coming from retirement. I don't know what he has. When you come from retirement, listen, you do have some extra energy. He's going to have some extra energy. I give him 15. I give him between 10 to 15 plays because his stamina is not there. I tell you that right now because that happened to me. But anyway, Nolan Smith is coming off injury, and I believe Nolan Smith will be a dominant player moving forward for our defense. Jalen Carter was injured. If I don't know, Jalen Carter injured his shoulder. He injured his shoulder. He injured his Achilles. And he missed the game against the Giants. That game against the Giants in MetLife Field, he was absent. Jordan Davis, for anything and everything, has been playing phenomenal. He's been playing about between 75 to 95% of the defensive snaps. He lost weight. He's in shape and he looks good. Eddie said the Green and Detroit game will say a lot. If they split or come out 2-0, conferences. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. If we beat Green Bay or we beat Detroit, we already had number one spot. Like you just said, if we split, we come out number one. Green Bay, Detroit and Green Bay, they're down 3 games. I think it's 2 games to us. And in our conference, we have a 4 game lead, even though we are only what 3-1 in our conference. No, 2-1. I'm sorry, we haven't played the Washington Commanders yet. And the Washington Commanders, oh my goodness, they're follow the same philosophy that uh they did with RG3 with Jalen Daniels. Jalen Daniels should not have been in that game. All right. He should not have been in that game. I don't care if he's mounting the he's not mounting the comeback with 4 minutes left in the full quarter and you're down almost 3 scores. Stop it. Take him out the game. That's your franchise quarterback. He's coming from injury. It makes sense to get him out the game. All right. So I'm gonna get y'all out of here. I appreciate you tuning to Eagles Talk with your boy Pat. It's just me, and I've been drinking. All right. Shout out to everybody who's been commenting. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you share the show. Shout out to our Eagles fans from near and far. We appreciate y'all. Jordan Davis is a big man balling. Pause. Eddie said, Commanders are now learning the lesson Eagles learned a couple years ago. Do not go get a bunch of old players. Yo, you know they got Von Miller. You know Von Miller is their defensive end. I didn't know that. I saw a random 20 number out there on the defense. And they said that's Von Miller. I said, what? That's Von Miller. Goodness gracious. Your husband's right, and Eddie. I appreciate y'all for tuning into Eagles Talk. I know Dante he was here for a minute. But as you said, he was with his daughter as they're scouting of a team to see how they do it. Listen, we play Monday night. I need y'all to bring the energy Monday night, okay? I need y'all to understand that we play a team that should get they behind bashed in, okay? We should be able to beat the Packers and send them to their bye week and say, oh man, we should never thought about beating on the Philadelphia Eagles. So, with that being said, it is my time where I say good night. Go ahead and watch the Thursday night football between the Broncos and the Raiders as I drink my water and get myself relaxed. So I do need to go to work tomorrow. It's a federal worker. Go Birds. Bill Crow. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you, Jeremiah. I'll see you Monday. Listen, tell a friend. Tell a friend. Make sure you come here on Monday night as we do the pregame show, getting ready for this game against the Packers at Lambeau Field. To take on the Jordan Love led Green Bay Packers. And we get ready to put the smacketh down on those Green Bay Packers. It's going to be a dynamic game. It's going to be a great game, and I look forward to this game. I can't wait to see you again on Monday as I get ready to. I'm not taking another shot. I'm done. To our Philadelphia Eagles, we appreciate you for tuning in. We see you Monday. Peace.